Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Unlimited Railworks. It's Tuesday, November 30th, as of recording, which is almost December, which is really something. I don't want to think about it. What I do want to think about is how John is here once again, repeating
Hi, folks.
another special guest appearance.
Don't make me feel like that.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I'm back. I'm going to be on this podcast, but I'm not going to be on the main podcast coming up, or I guess last week for those of you who are not on the Patreon, because I'm going to CEO. I'm looking forward to that.
Woohoo.
But yeah, I had to be on the anime podcast. I got to talk with my friends about the show that we chose, or that Rose chose this time.
Yeah, don't assign it to all of us. Only I would do something so sick. Maverick is also here. Speaking of sick.
Yes, I am. I'm here. So to get the... No, I can still save this. Mm-hmm. I'm hearing you where else I would like to be, or what I would like to be. Just roll with me here. I'm still going on this.
Okay.
This is gonna land. This is gonna land so cool, and everyone's gonna think I'm cool and awesome, and girls are gonna watch, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, that's pretty awesome, Maverick." What I would love to be is to be the one. All right, I don't want to give it up. Fighting for tomorrow. Be the light. All right, love is strong. It'll always find a way.
Living in the moment.
He did it.
Every day is beautiful.
Oh God. We're gonna get there.
Yeah. But that's LV over there.
Well, now we know what you two will choose for karaoke.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Listen, half of my...
I was listening to the English version. It's pretty good.
There's an English version?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
she
there
made
is.
it. Yeah. The official
The
singer.
actress herself is... the singer herself is not native Japanese. So
okay, hold up.
She's very fluent in English. But, yeah, I'm here. I feel like I stumbled upon something I shouldn't be in.
Yeah. What, the Kamen Rider Club?
But the door closed behind
That's
me.
the wrong show.
I can't.
That's the wrong one. That's
the
forcing.
wrong
I'm
one.
I'm sorry.
Fake fan.
No, yeah. I would say that is definitely the wrong club for you, LV. But fortunately, everyone has to ride with me on this one.
We're common riding.
That's right. I think, not to get ahead of ourselves, we're talking about Kamen Rider Build, the show that I picked. Something that really strikes me in a lot of Kamen Rider series is obviously the original was called that because he rode the bike, right? But the bike is so vestigial and used so sparingly in most of the series of the modern era. Like Build, for example, where he definitely has a motorcycle, but I would not say it's integral to anything.
Right.
But yeah,
The mask is there though.
that's true.
They are masks.
They are.
That part of the title is still relevant.
You're right. Though masks feels like underselling what a lot of these suit designs go.
Oh yeah,
for
they're full on
these
suits.
days.
They're full on suits.
They're great. Yeah, this Kamen Rider Build, 2018, I believe.
Sounds about right.
I should have pulled up my documentation. All I had open was the best match list.
There you go.
Oh, you're ready to say your fave.
Yeah.
That's what that is.
September 3rd, 2017 to August 26th, 2018. This was, what is it? Let me see right here. Joined by Kaito Sentai, Lupin Ranger versus Keisatsu Sentai, Patch Ranger. Because they always get paired up with a accompanying Sentai series. So this is one of the ones that didn't get adapted into a Power Rangers series, because it was the Cops and Robbers one.
Oh.
And they didn't want to try and portray thieves as cool, because United States loves to lick boots.
Oh, yeah. So then what? They just do two dinosaur ones back to back, basically?
They've done multiple dinosaur ones.
I know they have.
So many dinosaur
I feel
ones.
like they did one like a few years ago, and then they did another one this year for Sentai
they
stuff.
did.
So then it must have been Power Rangers. Huh. But yeah.
Literally, Not to get immediately into this, but it is Dino Charge and Dino Supercharge, which are the Z-Roger ones with the Nerf gun and Samba Beat Sentai. Ninja Steel, so the Ninja Sentai.
Yeah, they did multiple ninja ones too.
Yeah. Beast Morphers, which is the odd one, which is when they went back into a past series to redo that one because they didn't do it yet. And then Dino Fury, which is Ryu Soldier. Anyway, welcome to me, the hidden Toku freak. Not actually, but I just it's there. It's there. Anyways,
Kamen Rider. But yeah, I mean, you can't talk about one Toku series without the other, really. That's just the nature of its grip on the world. But yeah, Kamen Rider Build is a series about, they find a magic box on Mars. I almost said the moon, but that's a different one.
It's Mars.
On Mars, and it comes down, and then someone tries to open it, and then it makes the entire country explode with a huge wall in the middle. So there's Toto, Hokuto, and Seito.
Oh, I found the narrator of the narration. So
perfect. Here we go.
It has been 10 years since the Pandora box was discovered on Mars and caused the Skywall tragedy. Our country was divided into Toto, Seito, and Hokuto, resulting in untold chaos.
Do.
Yeah, oh, fucking hell yeah.
Song.
So this is all about, Kiryu Sento, who's a super genius. He's the main Kamen Rider guy, and he rescues this dude who's running away from prison named Banjo Ryuga. And they're trying to, deal with a bunch of random shit that happens and fighting smashes, which just look like bike locks most of the time. This is a fairly different Kamen Rider in the terms of, the grand schemes of Kamen Riders, where most follow a weekly Monster of the Week format, whereas this, especially as it gets further into the series, not past where we watched, it gets really more into riders. They create so many riders, guys. You have no idea how many riders are in that series by the end, but it's always popping. But in the episodes we watched, I think we just wrapped up with Cross Z, which is good. Mm-hmm. And I'm really regretting because I realized at the end of episode 12 that episode 13 would have been the perfect one to end on because it's like a big plot thread, but it's fine. You get the gist. What would be truer to the tokusatsu watching experience than just endlessly doing cliffhanger endings, right? You got to do it.
I definitely felt that towards the last. I actually watched up to 14, so I think
wow.
I ended sufficiently. I was following a guide. It was like 1 to 14 is one arc, and I'm like, okay, I guess I'll do that.
That's sort of true.
Maybe I don't know.
That
it still ended on a cliffhanger.
But also, episode 12 is clearly set up as an end of season episode.
Yeah,
it was because the ending credits are like
they end it with the opening.
Yeah.
The opening is different in 13, and I'm like, oh no, am I too far? But I kept going.
Yeah, but episode 12 does have something iconic, which I think is good that it ends on. It is written by one of the writers for Fies. This is a famous writer because he always writes people falling off of bridges in his episodes.
Yeah. Oh no!
Episode 12. He jumps off the bridge or whatever.
Yep.
Incredible stuff, I have to say right there. If I was a writer, I would strive to have a trope such as that.
Just want to be known for that.
Through that poor man down a goddamn bridge.
Yeah. But yeah, Elvie, not to get ahead of it, I would love to hear what your thoughts are on Kamen Rider Build.
Yeah, I kind of I knew I was gonna like this because though Maverick seems to beat me at this, but I loved Power Rangers as a kid. But to this day, I have yet to actually bother watching a lot of the original source material of the series. At least I recollect. And it was one of those things where it's as a young girl too, and unfortunately with how marketing towards kids. I was watching that series all the time, but I never thought I would say out loud, oh, I like Power Rangers, you know, like to anyone, I think. Like, not because I was embarrassed, but maybe like in my head, unfortunately, like I subconsciously thought like, oh, it's wrong. I shouldn't like this. I'm a girl. No, that's a mindset, of course, I quickly grew out of. And for sure, I like loved like a lot of the series, especially when it was just marathon and just made it easy to watch. So for sure, going into this, I knew what to kind of expect in terms of like how ridiculous it was going to be, and for sure it like served, I think, my expectations, if not more. I was definitely impressed. I truly understand now why there's a big following for this franchise, especially amongst like a foreign audience, where to this day this unfortunately there doesn't seem to it seems a little inaccessible in terms of like at least the US. I don't know. I feel like other countries actually have this dubbed.
Not the more recent series for the most part, but definitely stuff like Kuga. I mean, we have Kuga, but like stuff like the late 2000 ones. I think they had like a Spanish version of Double or something.
Oh yeah, and much older series, like, you know, there are like licenses where you can find like and support, and they actually do have official subtitles, but for sure the recent series there doesn't seem to be like an ongoing like, yeah, we're gonna keep putting this out, and like it's certainly not in the trend of like other media where like, yeah, we're gonna simulcast this across the world. It's certainly not there, unfortunately. And like in that research too, I did not realize there were 2 failed attempts, maybe not failed, at least one of them failed for sure. There were 2 attempts at American adaptations of Kamen Rider, one of which was really bad, and the other one seems to have mixed responses to, but I didn't, you know, and I never knew they existed. Dragon Knight, Kamen Rider Dragon Knight, it's called.
Okay.
Yes. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it was on Fox Kids or if anything. I don't recall ever seeing it on TV, so I guess that says a lot. But that looks okay. Maybe, yeah. But that other one looks really bad and seems like notoriously bad and might have been the nail in the coffin in terms of ever like getting it out there. And I can imagine the latter series attempt, Dragon Knight. It was just difficult because Power Rangers has like a stake here, and that is difficult to compete. And I'm sure like it had a lot of issues of being compared to it a lot when no, they are 2 different things. But no, overall, yeah, as I was saying, I'm very impressed by the series. For sure, I think I will finish it. Like you said, there's a cliffhanger every episode. Unfortunately, I have to know more. I personally watched up to episode 14. And there were so many things happening towards the last those last couple episodes. People were being double crossed. People were being quadruple crossed. There was so much. Like I was just like, oh, okay, we're getting there. And in a sense, I kind of know how, you know, stuff that is considered children's media like this is, you know, like in the States, unfortunately, it's just very dumbed down. I think like a lot of children's media has developed much better in the last couple of years, especially in regards to, I think, acknowledging children are smart and not like dumbing down content because they're just children. I think certainly children's media has improved a lot in the last couple of years. But I guess like, you know, contextualizing things, you know, when I was growing up and seeing the Saturday morning cartoons, for sure, it's like, you know, trying to make everything a PSA and being afraid to like go deeper into certain topics than you need to be. You know, it's just like some shows did that, but like, you know, to watch something on 4Kids and, you know, every anime they got at that point in time was just being censored left and right. You know, Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Was just utterly like censored in many ways, in understandable ways, but in also silly ways. Like you could not show guns, despite the fact that, you know, lots of kids have seen action movies and seen way more violent things. Not to say you shouldn't constantly expose them to that stuff, but to see a cartoon gun is apparently like really bad. So in a way, I was kind of shocked how like dark this series is, and I know that maybe is like too strong a word, like oh it was dark, but it certainly treks into much. It clearly, you know, from what I've seen so far, it's clearly going into much serious topics that I would have not imagined seeing as a kid growing up in a Power Rangers episode. Time Force, you know, just to reference Power Rangers Time Force kind of like went that direction a bit, especially when it came to like fucking killing off a main character. Absolutely. And kind of the extent of the violence too, and implied violence they went into. And I'm not sure what's going on with some of the recent series, because especially since Power Rangers has like jumped through so many like acquisition loops, it's now in Hasbro, so I don't know what Hasbro's stance is now in regards to some content like that. But in general, I did not expect from the get-go, like episode 1, we're gonna let's talk about human experimentation.
Rock and roll.
Let us talk about like stuff like that. And very clearly like some sort of like thinly veiled like political commentary in regards to the basis of the plot revolving around the fact that Japan has divided into 3 pieces. It's a very silly premise, like, okay, some alien bullshit has happened here, and Japan is now like divided into 3 pieces. Mm-hmm. But for sure, that's entering like even, if for anyone who even knows like surface level like politics going on in the East Asian sphere, and like how like unfortunately tense that stuff is, especially in regards to relationships between Japan and Korea and China, like, and that stuff ongoing, like, that's like that is certainly tiptoeing on the edge of something very, very charged. And I'm not sure where they're going to go with that further into the series. I will find out, because certainly I do want to keep going with this. Yeah, in general, I was just very surprised. I'm just very surprised about the stuff they were willing to just go into, even though it is coded with like a very kind of silly, cartoonish framework. Because again, it is a tokusatsu show. And unfortunately, yeah, it still has to sell toys too, to an extent.
Oh yeah, don't worry, they never get away from that ever in any.
Oh,
series.
they never do. They never do. Gosh, the commercials that were tacked on with the episodes I was watching.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, and the tie-ins would like, oh here, like I'm not sure who those characters were, but like, oh maybe were these other common writers? I'm not sure previous series, but yeah, they're like, yeah, see you at the stage. Like I don't know if they're doing a live show, if it's
Yes.
referencing some sort of movie crossover.
Both,
okay,
honestly,
okay.
They do movies, they do specials,
They have
and
everything.
They do live shows.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I'm not surprised. It's a multimedia franchise. They exist in every format. I am sure there are radio plays, even though I'm not sure if kids listen to radio plays. But yeah, it's such a fun show, and yeah, quite a banger OP. Like certainly, I think I have a lot to say, but it's like, wow, a lot has happened. I think my favorite matchup is the Octopus Light, because when I first saw it,
oh yeah,
I was just like, okay, I don't know, I kind of liked what was it? Oh, Lion Cleaner. I kind of really liked Lion Cleaner first, because the moment he sucked up fire, I knew. I was just like, damn, okay.
The cleaner one is very funny. To
like,
the general,
it's just a vacuum hand.
The hedgehog fire or whatever.
Right.
Fucking God. So many incredible combinations in this program, let me tell you.
Right. But but Octopus Light, I think, like, captured my heart. He just blinded that man and then yeeted him with the tentacles.
Yeah.
Very fascinating. Yeah, Misora she needs to be paid. Thankless job. I hope she survives this whole ordeal. I don't know. Right, okay, episode 2 or 3. Someone just fucking dies. I'm just thinking about that now. I'm just remembering, I'm remembering
Banjo's fiance.
Banjo's fiance.
Yeah.
She just fucking.
The thing.
She gets obliterated.
The thing
that I
holy shit.
Very
all I could
straight.
think about it when Maverick was mentioning it in our group chat was, oh my gosh, the fact that I always forget that when his fiance dies and he's holding her in his arms, he has "You looked better on social media" shirt on. And it's just like there's so many scenes like that in the show, because he's always wearing stupid shirts.
He's always wearing some unhinged shirt. Like,
there is a character later.
Where is he getting these clothes?
There is a character later who wears the most insane outfits, and that's like their gimmick. And you've already seen this character, but this is another side of them, and it is truly incredible.
Oh, no.
It is truly incredible stuff. This is a great show. I love this show. John, what are your thoughts? Hi.
Well, I'll be honest. When I first started it, I didn't hate it, but I was definitely just kind of like, I'm not too impressed about all this. I'm just kind of sitting here, hanging out, watching this. But as it went on, I would say that I have become invested. I like it. It's fun. It's not anything too, demanding of your time. It's a good breezy watch. The action is very fun. And although, the choreography is genuinely impressive, the designs for all the costumes are really cool. All the toys are pretty neat. Yeah, I would say I'm not like toku pilled or anything. Like
Yeah.
it sounds like maybe y'all are, but I had a pretty solid time watching it. I always say that I'm going to finish stuff and then I never do, but I have the intent to continue to watch this. Is what I would say I have.
I think like this is also one of the best ones if you ever have just people to watch it with. Really good one to just fuck around. Kamen Rider in general really lends itself well to
Group watches, yeah. It's a group thing,
like it's because
I
it's
feel
just everyone watching going, holy shit, he just did that or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
oh my god.
Yeah, like a crowd,
Yeah.
crowd affirmation. And you know what I think, like, especially hooked me in. And again, I don't, maybe if I revisit Power Rangers or something, like if I revisit it, and to make comparison, but it really does feel like the way they edit it and the way, you have things like kind of like Japanese comedy conventions and tropes of certain things they do and certain like beats that are very typical in a lot of Japanese comedy and kid shows, which, is very apparent. But also just how the show is edited and like when they go from shot to shot and scene, it feels like a soap opera. And I think that's what got me in particular. Like it's like, wow, this is, they got me there. This manipulative ass like way they edit soap operas where like, recollecting a lot of the ones that I sit through sometimes watching with my mom. And not because I care, but like they are very fascinating how bad they are. I mean, there's some good ones, but just soap operas in general, and like the whole thing, like, again, there seems to be a constant cliffhanger. There's always some sort of twist. And like how they're scripting the show is very brilliant and very thoughtful in terms of like making sure each episode has some sort of hook to keep you on, which is what soap operas do. Where they withhold a lot of information, but meanwhile, like, oh, we're going to give you this tease and then like, surprise, it's not what you expect next episode, and unravel that. It really does feel like a soap opera for kids.
Yeah. Maverick, what do you think? Let me ask you as a fellow Kamen Rider member of the club. What are your thoughts?
I thought it was pretty all right. I think it was just kind of like a like
Just another day.
like a 5 out of 10. I don't know. No, I think Build is really interesting. So, fucking context for who I am as a person. The immediate things that I would say shaped my childhood were Power Rangers and Ed, Edd and Eddy. If you just want the two immediate like compositions of who I am as a person. But with that in mind, like the first Kamen Rider anything I watched, I say that. It is either I started with Gaim and then got into Double, or a friend recommended me Double and then concurrently I got into Gaim. One of those two. But, it's always been my sphere of just like something I'll eventually get to, like how I'll eventually get into Ultraman, and then suddenly I'll eventually actually feel like watching Evangelion, because I'll understand where Hideaki Anno is coming from finally. But, eventual hurdles. With Build, it was really fun, and I was mentioning it before, but with a lot of the Kamen Rider series that I was familiar with, O's, Double, Forze, Drive, all very much follow this like 2-episode format where, one monster will sort of be the focus, or one power will be the focus for 2 whole episodes. And so that's just 2 weeks of like going through that. Build is just like breakneck speed. All right. here's this convict. His girlfriend died. We're gonna have you with his boyfriend. Now you find out, oh, by the way, I was a scientist. I'm not just a barista. Oh, by the way, I caused 2 world leaders to lose their minds, I guess. By the way, I found out that the person that made the build program wanted it to be a war machine. By the way, that person may or may not be alive. There's just so much happening in the span of these 12 episodes.
Yeah.
That,
Yeah.
even thinking about, oh, we get our second writer 12 episodes in, I'm trying to remember, okay, how long did it take for, God, the last Kamen writer that I can remember was Forze. And, I'm just thinking, how long did it take for that secondary writer to show up?
24 episodes or something.
Yeah, 24 episodes. Or just actually a different kind of build-up than what Build is going for, which, again, I appreciate it. I like that it's just immediately wanting to go off the shits, because, pop off. But also, it's different. No way going around it. But it's so much fun. I really enjoy that there are a lot of just... that there is a familiarity with the way that they go about sort of just having the setup of, here is our kooky band of individuals that are gonna just try and be the focus for a lot of the work that we do here. But then at the same time, just immediately going, oh yeah, Banjo's trying to do stuff for himself. It's going to take him a while to actually get into this. Or the selfishness also of Kiryu. There's so many intricate things that do remind me of the way that Gaim wanted to meld its own overarching narrative of betrayal and deceit, because this is Generabochi, and everyone's like, oh man, the Madoka guy's doing Kamen Rider. I wonder what's going to happen. You get a bloated 7 out of 10 is what you get happening. Anyway,
Ooh.
Yeah, no, listen, Gaim has very good suit designs. It has some very fun suit designs.
Yeah.
Does it have a little bit of homophobia? Maybe. Does it have a little bit of weird weird analogs to the Warring States period? Maybe. Does it kind of drop the dance motif it promised at the beginning? Yes, it fucking does. But anyway, I'm not talking about Gaim, I'm talking about Build. And Build,
You are.
also being a weird Romance of the Three Kingdoms style thing, I guess. Because 2 narratives have only ever existed in the Eastern media, and it's Journey to the West and Romance of the Three Kingdoms.
Absolutely.
Those are the only 2 narratives. But no, it's been fun, and of course I'm going to try and finish this. It's easy, it's light. I love that the lunar... Is it the lunar moon salt? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. That does me good. I'm a fan.
I'm obviously a fan of Kamen Rider Build. I think it's my favorite Kamen Rider after watching all of these various ones. With regards to the toys aspect of the show, I have to say my favorite part of Build, compared to even a lot of the other shows, is just every single fucking little jingle they do before a transformation or something.
Yeah.
And this one particular is a chef's kiss, mismatch, bat, bat, fire.
The voiceover artist is living their best life.
shit.
I love it.
It's so fucking good.
And there's the little
Gorilla Mod
dragon.
is-
Little dragon flying around.
And it plays
It's the
little noise.
fucking- Yeah.
It's so
Yeah,
fucking good.
I really like the embrace of these weird gear modular motifs.
Yeah.
Like the fact that the transformation effect is literally it's is that from my understanding that's purposeful, right? It's
Yeah,
emulating
like a
those
Gundam.
Gundam kits, those build kits.
Yep.
Which goes to the theme of Kamen Rider Build, right? It's acknowledging it's an action figure being made. That's really cool to me.
Oh, you listen, if you are a fan of just little jingles and sounds, just go and get into any Kamen Rider.
Yeah, just they all have it like great. Like they all have their little bit that's just great. Like I always think of like O's as the tato ba or whatever.
Yeah.
They just do so many. There's so many. They're all good. But I love Builds because, and I think this is a product of Build being a series that is primarily driven not by Monsters of the Week, but by other writers or other forces, where everyone has a fucking transformation jingle, so there's just more of them.
Similar
like-
again would be fucking would be Gaim, just because there's so many fucking writers in that one too.
Elvie, you watched to 14, so you saw Sparkling, I think, right?
Yes, I did see
So
Sparkling.
you know like how good that one is too. Pepsi.
That. Yeah.
There's just so many good ones, and it just keeps getting better. I love Bloodstock as a guy. I think every
As a
show
man.
needs a little guy
Bloodstock
like that,
is a little
right?
freak.
Like,
What? You know, and again, I've seen up to 14.
so you
I'm
know
not
who
gonna,
he is,
I'm gonna be careful about
but-
but like I point this out in my notes. Patreons will be able to read, but like the tension between him and fucking Batman. I'm gonna call him Batman, even though that's not his real name. But they keep saying the Batman for many episodes until they realize what his name is, Night Rogue, right? What is going on there? Like, I don't know what those actors were told to do, but they keep having this weird sexual tension when they're both on screen.
Yeah, no, definitely.
And I know what their identities actually are now, but I don't quite get it yet.
No, I think like in general, like that's what what happens in Kamen Rider is the sexual tension is unreal. This show,
it is very unreal.
This show in particular has the biggest gay main writer and secondary writer, I think, with Kiryu Sento and Banjo.
I also point this out. So they're all like hiding in the basement of that cafe.
Yeah.
There's one bed.
Mm-hmm.
There's only one bed.
Oh, you know.
Yeah, you know. I'm just saying. Miss Sora sleeps in the. I think that's. I don't know. I think that's actually her bed, but I don't know. She's like in the chamber half the time.
Well, they have two beds. They have one by the door, and then they have one over in Sento's area or whatever. And I think so. But that's still one bed for those two. That's a long time.
Yeah, you know? Exactly. She's gonna claim the one bed, and those two have to deal with it.
No, yeah, I just love every scene, especially on a rewatch of this, just being like, God, like they do all these like confession scenes between them and stuff like that. Like what was it? The one in like episode...
A lot of rain scenes too.
Yeah.
Like sad rain scene, sad gay rain scenes.
Episode 10, I think it is when they first start like implying he's going to become Cross Z, I think. And then it's like
they're like in the middle of fights and they keep going like, oh, your levels are rising, you're almost there.
That's the best thing. That's the thing about Bloodstock that I was saying. Is like I loved all I can think about when I think of Bloodstock, besides stuff he does later, is just the time Banjo's punching him and he just keeps going, hazard level 2.3, hazard level 2.4. This is the shit, my man. This is so good.
Just like, let's fucking go.
Yeah. Oh, it's so fucking good.
Also, yeah, you know, Banjo and Kiryu definitely going for the consideration for it. I'm just saying, their gimmick is not that they fuse into one guy.
That's true. Like,
put some respect on Shotaro and Philip's name right there is all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. Unless you watch the movie, in which
I refuse to do anything that makes me pull out from that, so that's non-canon in my eyes.
But no, like just like I think of episode 10, there's just like a scene where like Banjo's like, you really taught me to think about what I'm doing and be smart or whatever and do all this stuff or whatever. Right. And then Sento turns around and goes, that's funny. I was going to say the same thing to you. And then they walk away or whatever. It's just like, God, calm down, guys. Get a room. They can't. Well, they kind of did get a room. It's down there, but
they all share that one.
Yeah, they all share that one room.
They have to share it. They can't go anywhere else.
When you get to like the end of that show and there's like 20 dudes in that basement,
they just all have to hide there.
No, it's great stuff, and I highly recommend anyone who, if you watched it and you enjoyed it, like watching it all the way through. It never lets up. It's great. Like eventually they introduce Kamen Rider Grease, who's a really funny guy. He's pretty cool. I think he's actually in Gaim? Question mark. I think he's in Gaim, or he's in one of them in the past. Maybe Ryuki. I don't know. Either way, he was actually played like a character in another Kamen Rider, but then they were just like, okay, you can be a main Kamen Rider this time, which I think is funny.
Oh, how nice.
Yeah, great stuff. Great show. I love it. One thing I was going to ask you, John, about was, did you ever get used to the physical comedy bits that I know you didn't quite like too much?
Yeah, it's fine. They're not really as prevalent, I suppose, but it's fine. I'll live, It's for kids. It's all right.
Mm-hmm. Because I sort of agree with you to an extent, but I will say that the thing that I always think of that gets a big laugh out of me is when Isurugi, the master of the cafe, he's just reading a story on his iPad, and then he just somehow
crumbles
rolls it up into a thing and then scratches
he never
his
does
back
that again.
and laughs, and it's just like,
oh yeah,
what the fuck
it's
was
very
that?
good. Yeah,
He never does that again.
It's pretty good.
Inexplicable.
Very inexplicable.
But yeah, Kamen Rider Build, am I right?
Mm-hmm. It's good. It's fun.
Yeah, it's a good time. Do we have any questions or opinions, John?
We have quite a few, actually.
Oh my god. Oh boy.
Not like a shit ton, but we have some here.
Oh, okay.
All right. If you want to send in a question or comment or whatever the hell, you can go to videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com/ask. You'll sound like these folks right here.
We attracted the Kamen Riders.
Oh,
We
yeah.
did.
We got them.
Harlequin Wheels asks, if the Kamen Rider build full bottles were real, which one / combination of two would taste the best?
No! The whole time I was watching the show before it really registered with me, like, what those are.
Yeah.
I kept saying they're ink toners. They look like fucking ink toners. I'm like, damn, those are ink toners. Expensive shit.
Tank and Diamond, because it's just fruit punch and Arctic Ice.
Ooh.
Yeah. All right.
What flavor Gatorades do you want? That's the question.
That's a
What
good
flavor
question.
Gatorades do you want? No, wait. Oh God. Which one is Arctic? Which one is the ice blue? Whichever one is ice blue. Do that one and.
I mean, ice blue is like, that's diamond. Isn't diamond ice blue?
I think again. I thought
yeah,
it was
it's the minty
whiter,
blue
but I'm
one.
thinking about Panda,
Oh, panda. Yeah, panda. Okay.
which would be just stock mystery flavor, like
Yeah.
a fucking coconut.
Oh, man, I have some of that
Ooh.
ginger snapped Mountain Dew downstairs that I took one sip out of, and it was so indecipherable to figure out what this tasted like that I stopped.
I got to look at those best matches again.
One of my favorite best matches, not to get ahead of herself because I know this is about drinking them, but I fucking love Dragon and Locke. I think that's such a good fucking stupid little combination that they do.
Oh, that's
And I
so
love
good.
when Banjo's like, oh, God, and it's a best match. Like,
Oh, that was a great
Sealed
little bit.
Fantasia. Sealed Fantasia.
or just like the
Just-
earlier bit where he's like, best matches aren't so easy you can just figure it out, and he's like, what about these two? And he puts them in and it's a best match, and he's like, what the fuck?
It's a guessing game.
God.
Oh god, there's like a ranking of the build
Oh, fuck
matches
yes.
chart, that meme thing. I know it's spoiling at things, but I don't know which each are anyway.
Oh God, the fucking I loved the comic ninja
Yeah.
just
Oh,
because
God,
of
that
how much they were
sword.
just like, wow, comics and ninjas. Who would think?
Oh, John.
The logic between matching things is very fascinating.
Oh, once you
I
get-
bet the idea of boardroom is incredible.
Once you get,
going on there?
not to spoil anything, but in like episode 38, they explain what best matches are, and it's insane. It's absolutely insane in the context
Oh,
of the
boy.
world. It's really good.
Oh boy.
John, I was going to ask you, how do you feel about Pirate Train?
Pirate Train is pretty good. I was gonna say the flavor that I want to try the most is probably Fire Hedgehog.
Yeah.
Ooh,
That
yeah.
that seems like it would be a really weird energy drink, but like one of those ones that you just keeps you going throughout the whole day. Like I want to try Fire Hedgehog energy drink.
That would definitely have like a heat to it.
So not to be basic here, but I'm going to go with one that you haven't seen yet, but it's like in like the next episode is there's Rabbit Tank sparkling because it looks like this.
Yeah, it's a soda.
It's a soda can, and you just crack
It's
it open.
literally
And
a
I know
soda.
that's cheating,
Yeah.
and that's fairly basic, but you look at that and you go, that's a Pepsi.
All
That
right.
looks good.
That is a Pepsi. It's a crystal Pepsi. if
Crack that
anything.
open.
Yeah.
Crack it.
But like, yeah,
Kamen
just,
Rider can check.
honestly, just the normal Rabbit also just looks like Code Red, a cherry soda or something. Look at that.
Yeah.
That looks good. Ooh, Low Rabbit. I don't even know what that is. That's insane. I'm looking at this list now.
I mean, Rabbit Tank is literally just the Pepsi colors.
Yeah. Or like Voltage.
That
and
just
Code
looks like a
Red.
cola. That yeah, just brand like recognition. It looks like a cola to me.
Ugh.
All right. Next thing here, we have another question here. I guess we kind of already talked about this here, but Anonymous asks, "Who's the best villain in Kamen Rider build, and why is it Bloodstock?"
He's so fucking good because he has no goals.
He's just hanging out.
Like
yeah.
he gives off the impression he has grand ambitions, but he's just fucking around. I really like the scene where he's starting to like walk away with Pandora's box, and then the guy just shows
Yeah.
up and he's like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "What do you mean? I'm just hanging out."
He wasn't lying. He was just hanging out.
He was just hanging
Yeah.
out. He was just steam blasting a dude.
Okay. I forgot what episode this was, but they're in like the warehouse. They're having a fight. All four of them are there. You know, Banjo, Kiryu, and Night Rogue included. He just shows up. Just like, no, you know, he just intervenes. He just stops the fight. The other two get away. And before he leaves, he just throws a chair across Night Rogue.
It's
for no
very
fucking
funny.
reason.
Oh, it's so good.
And then he just walks away.
And this guy only gets better. Like I'm telling you, like as this guy gets upgraded,
I'm feeling it, yeah.
like God, oh, so fucking good.
What is he just shows up. Shows up for no reason.
But like right now, it's like we've only really seen Gentoku. I guess Itsumi to an extent, and it's like
Right.
you know, Gentoku is just classic like government fuckhead dude who wants power or whatever.
Yeah.
And Itsumi's just a nerd. But
Yeah.
none but children.
Let's see here. We got an opinion here from Century Punk Robinson, and an opinion here. Here we go. Build up! Great main rider, awesome secondary rider, and a villain that steals the show from almost start to finish. Personally, I prefer a more traditional Monster of the Week format than builds focus on clashing riders, but the mystery, intrigue, and battle over power-up toys is immediately engaging despite how silly it all is. Heart grease. So we didn't even get to see Grease, so...
Yeah, but it's pretty good.
Yeah.
If only we had infinite time to just continue to watch Kamen Rider every month. Such as... That'd be kind of hellish, actually. I won't impose that on anyone.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
But yeah, good fucking show, I think.
And we do have one last question here, but it's kind of just like a general question, kind of referencing what you said right there. Quenny Taikiki asked, any thoughts of branching out into other toku if you like build, like Super Sentai, Ultraman, etc.? I don't know if this is specifically asking if we're gonna like keep covering it, or just like asking us in general if we're gonna keep going into other toku stuff. I mean, Rose, you seem to just be like kind of focused on Kamen Rider. Have you been thinking about trying like Sentai or Ultraman?
I've watched some Sentai with my girlfriend. It's fine. I don't think it hits the same boxes, as it were, as the Kamen Rider. Here's my thing. I've never been an ensemble cast person, and even though Build is kind of like an ensemble cast, they're still core guys, you know? You know what I'm saying? And I totally could feel like one day I'm going to run out of Kamen Rider, you know? I'm going to run out. There won't be any more for me to go to. In which case I'll probably watch Ultraman. I'm kind of thinking I'll get into Ultraman once that Platinum game comes out, where you play as an Ultraman type character, or Shin Ultraman as well, which exists, right? That's coming, right?
I think Kamen Rider. No, Ultraman I think is next year, and then Kamen Rider's after that. I don't know exactly which, but yeah, it's coming out.
Yeah, but I'm really just a Kamen Rider head, I think, at my core.
How about you then, Maverick?
Yeah, God, I definitely feel similarly, if only because it's weird to say Sentai can feel like it appeals to a younger audience, but I think there are definitely points, or there are a lot more series that lend itself to a younger skew, I would say. Like, the last Sentai series that I was getting through is Tokyuger, and that one is definitely a surprise in terms of how much I've been enjoying it, but also just how much fun it has with its premise. And, will I see other Sentai in the near future? Possibly. I'll probably go into like older analogs of just like, oh, what was the Sentai series that was going on when this was like something I watched when it got translated to Power Rangers or something like that. But yeah, if I'm looking at eventual next steps, eventually I'll get into Ultraman. I'm probably looking at like Ultraman Geed, because I see that it's available on like Shout Factory's whole bit. It had a pretty good theme song from what I heard, and that's always like important and shit. Or no, was it fucking or one of those? But that's always an option. I feel like at some point I got to get into Garo.
Oh, Garo?
Yeah, Garo.
Oh, Garo's pretty good. I've seen a bit of Garo as well.
Yeah, and for context, Garo is like tokusatsu, but it's easy to see tokusatsu, but for adult audiences. But literally, it is like, oh, hey, dude, like this is like actual real shit, but still toku, which is pretty dope. I like that.
Alvi, how about you?
I think I want to focus on finishing this first.
Yeah, that's fair.
Focus on build first. But for sure, it is definitely reminded me at some point, definitely wanting to unpack and go backwards a bit and just, rewatching a bit of Power Rangers and then actually going back into the source material they came from, which is like, the original Super Sentai titles, at least the stuff I remember. And there's like a whole well of like other like, content and videos talking about the history of that franchise too that I know I bookmarked. I actually had a coworker who is a huge fan of Power Rangers and went to the Power Rangers convention every year, which I think is in Florida or Texas. I don't remember. And it's a big deal. Like they even get like, yeah, they even have like some of the Japanese actors and like people who worked on like the original Super Sentai series come in. And like, it's a very nice, sweet, like, meeting of the minds there. They like, it's a very much an acknowledged collaboration at this point that they do that, where they kind of coexist as two separate things, and pay credit to the original material. But for sure, yeah, I want to just focus on finishing build first and see where I go from there. But I think definitely though, I want to watch the horrible American version, which now that I look at, which is. Again, Dragon Knight seems interesting. I think I do want to go back. Maybe that will be during my Power Rangers journey. But from my understanding, it's just called Masked Rider.
Yeah.
And it's I think it's Saban Entertainment's whole like when they were unhinged and wanted to Americanize everything. This is where like all that stuff of like this unreleased attempt at an American cartoon version of like Sailor Moon, and it was just the clips of it seem really bad. They were just going out of their way, going ham over that stuff. And it's all available on YouTube somehow unscathed because I guess no one wants to acknowledge it exists. So I'll just sit down and watch that at some point. And it seems to be, from my understanding, it seems to be based on like one of the last Kamen writers of the Showa era, so like late 80s or so, whenever that ends. It's very interesting that this franchise has been so cumulative and so like like just existed for a long time. They have to like segment the titles in an order that makes sense according to the era of what era of Japan it came out in, which to me is really funny.
I mean, the important part
they've just been around for decades.
It's the fact that like there's actually a portion where they just stopped making Kamen Rider, or rather,
yeah,
after Black RX is the series you're thinking of. Eventually, they stopped making the show, and then it was more just like, all right, we can still like make movies out of it, which I think led to Kamen Rider J, which had its own appeal,
right.
And then also aptly named Shin Kamen Rider. But that one was more, what if Kamen Rider was fucked up and like was a mutated bug? And
right.
You could just look up the henshin for that. It's like nasty and it rules. But then like after those movie adaptations, is when the actual 2000 introduction of Kuga, they segmenting it as the Showa and Heisei writers only helps if only for the fact that it's like there is definitely a gap where there just is no Kamen Rider, whereas Sentai still had its own stuff going on, and that if anything got even more popular because that's when like Jew Ranger started popping off, and then the series that would then get adapted into Power Rangers filling that gap.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's a very fascinating history I certainly want to learn more about.
Well, I can always suggest
My answer is pretty much the same thing as always. Yeah, I kind of just want to get through this, and if I feel like I want to do more stuff, then I'll do more stuff. But if not, this is still fun, so I'm not going to be like, I'm not going to look back on it with disdain. I'm just going to be like, yeah, that was fun, but that was it. So we'll see.
Valid. Ugh. Okay, now I guess we should talk about anime. But no. Anime. How about that? Hey, you crazy guys. You two men.
Huh?
How's Digimon? I don't know. How's Digimon going?
Gamamon? Like, if anyone fucks up Gamamon, it's on site.
Yeah, Gamamon is my son, and I wish to protect him from all dangers, but also I want to see him take care of the problems himself, because I believe in him and all of his cool Digivolutions. Yeah, Ghost Game's still fun. It's still fun. The past 2 episodes were fucking nutty. Especially the latest one. The latest one was just one big, it was one big kart racing joke, basically, where Sistermon CL shows up, who is a Digimon who's a nun, but she's kind of evil. And
wow,
she
so
is
unlike real nuns.
Yeah. And she's obsessed with racing, so much so that she forces a bunch of other Digimon into a race with her every night, that if you fall too far back, you basically get Grim Reapered, because she summons like a Grim Reaper Digimon to kill them. And so the whole episode is just one big race up until the end, when Black Gatomon shows up and does the evil containment wave and seals away both the Reaper and Sistermon CL. And when I mean that he does the evil containment wave, I mean, like, it's not the exact thing, but it is about as close as you could get without straight up doing the evil containment wave from Dragon Ball. It is nuts. It's very funny. I'm still really enjoying Ghost Game. It's like, hey, if you're into Monster of the Week Toku, maybe you should check out Digimon Ghost Game, because that is pretty much what it is. Like, honestly, Robin, I would say maybe check that out. It's pretty fun. They are leading into more of a story arc, though, it seems like, because the first Digimon that they fought was Clockmon, and he escaped, and he was not, he did not apologize for what he did. Because some of the Digimon were just like, you know what, I don't understand how this world works. I'm sorry, I fucked up. I'll go try to fix stuff. But Clockmon was very much just trying to steal people's time. But he's coming back, so we're going to see how that goes. Pretty scary.
It was a pretty fucked up concept about what he was doing, I will say.
Yeah, it was. Maverick, how you feeling about this show? What are you thinking?
I'm digging it. I always appreciate fresh perspectives on like ongoing series, and Ghost Game definitely feels like one. I mean, the easiest punch up there is like no goggles, but also just immediately taking that idea of like what is Digimon, how do we interpret Digimon for a new series, and just going like shit, let's conceptualize this where what if no one knew that Digimon was a thing, but because of the way that AI and technology just keeps evolving, we can understand a conceptual part of it. And, the immediate dovetailing to that being like, oh, what if we also just created, urban legends around these things that are happening, and then the answer just being, oh, Digimon exist, is a fun way to still, I would say, keep a balance between the classic sense of just going into that digital world entirely, and then just having this other interpretation of the fact that, the world itself is as digital as we claim it to be in this narrative setting. Also, it's just fun to see just new interpretations of like, I just love seeing new Digimon, because I feel like it's been very easy to just have a conception of like what each character should have in terms of like a partner. Gamamon definitely fits that aesthetic of what a protagonist Digimon can be, but I'm eager for the fact that, I honestly, this one's for the real heads. Gamamon's giving me Liger Zero vibes. For all my Zoids heads out there.
Yeah.
With just the fact that it's like different like form evolutions, and there's no actual I also like the fact that like as part of this Digimon lore, like they're just like, some Digimon can evolve, but I've never heard of a Digimon evolving and then turning back, whereas in the past it's sort of like, it's just like a thing we do, and then we're back to normal. Also, considering that, like, it's funny seeing death seen as, like, a legitimate worry or concern, even in, like, that racing episode, when, like, very, I would say, habitually, Digimon likes to relish this idea that, data is eternal, and that, like, death is only just a partial, is just a part of this life cycle that a lot of Digimon have. I don't know, it was like something that really like got to me, or just like I noticed after like, no, this is the first time I can remember a Digimon like fearful of dying. But I mean
like even with this Grim Reaper Digimon here, like it's not actually fully killing them, because there's the part where like it captures some of them. It's just like they just get like trapped in his scythe. But there still feels like there's higher stakes, and there's especially higher stakes for the people, because people are getting like kidnapped by these Digimon, and like getting old beached, and getting their birds are all being stolen from them.
Dude, their birds are getting like just taken away.
No birds for you. But then that one girl's bird came back to her. That was very cute.
Yeah,
that was nice.
No, I'm definitely eager to see what's next. As soon as we see a Leomon show up, I'm putting on the counter. So
you say that, but last season, Leomon didn't die.
Nah, that's not a real Digimon season. It's not a real Digimon season.
It's a side story, alternate path.
It was the reboot. It was that reboot. Leomon didn't die. The reboot.
Yeah, I don't trust like that. I don't trust like that.
We'll see how it goes. Because I mean, I still think it's really funny that one of the first Leomon cars that came out in the TCG had its effect activate when it got killed. So, and it was like one of the first ones that had that effect. So that was pretty funny.
It's going to be a Leomon Uber. He's also a delivery man.
Yeah, I it's definitely something to look for, and again, it's something to kind of like watch with your friends, because it is just like a fun monster of the week thing. You're just gonna, sit around, eat a snack or something, and just be like, oh yeah, well, how are they gonna take down this enemy? What's this enemy's gimmick gonna be? It's fun to see them do it, but I am also interested to see what the overarching plot will be once things kind of kick into gear. This does remind me a bit, like I said it before, but this reminds me more and more of Tamers, but I just think it is tackling it in a more modern and a bit more reasonable way, where like it's touching on more modern technology, and I think it's also just being a bit more digestible, I would say. Instead of being as heady as the lane guy got in Tamers, like I don't think they're gonna have like government agencies with like women in orbs typing on shit, being like the Deer Reaper. Like I don't think they're gonna get to that, which has its place in Tamers, but I think it's probably for the best that it's not something like that in this scenario.
Definitely. It's doing its own thing, and like I'll always
absolutely
appreciate. It's like fucking. I love that Digimon exists in a space that it's always wanting to do its own thing, regardless of the iteration.
Yeah, absolutely. They are.
Yeah, sure.
Digimon doesn't rest on its laurels. Like we.
I'm going to say right now. Can I say one thing?
I'm gonna lightly refute that, in that, like, yeah, they did they did a lot of leaning on the original series.
No, that's
recently.
not what I was gonna say.
Okay, go ahead.
I was going to say, I feel as if the problem is, and I don't mean this as a hit against Digimon, I don't think they ever had any laurels to rest on.
No, that is fair. That is true.
Like they are fighting to survive consistently.
Yeah.
Is how I feel about Digimon.
I mean, that is true. I would say that maybe it's not as unpopular as you would say. Like, Digimon has always had...
it's just compared to its contemporaries, right? Like, it never...
I mean, yeah, of course. It's
the levels of, like, Yu-Gi-Oh! Or...
Exactly, yeah. I would say it's getting there now. Like, the new TCG is big, and, like, the reboot anime was well received. People did like it, and Ghost Game is pretty good. And like, people are out there buying the fucking Tamagotchis now. Like, they're selling the Digimon toys. Like, I would not be surprised if it came out that those toys are selling better than they did back in the day. Like, I would not be surprised about that, because like Digimon is just, I feel like they're handling the franchise a lot smarter, and I think it was a good idea to do that sort of Gen 1er thing. Like, yeah, sure, do a Gen 1 remake, like, make it about Tai and Agumon for a while, but also, like, almost concurrently, they also did those movies that were like the finale of that story, that was like, yeah, like the Digimon Tri movies that was wrapping up those stories and being like, yeah, like, we're all adults now, this is the Digimon for the adults that can had grown up with it and remember it as a kid, but then also here's the new generation that can get into Digimon with this reboot, and now here's just something that everyone can enjoy with Ghost Game and with the TCG. Like, I think they're doing a really good job with the franchise as a whole, and I would say that Cyber Sleuth probably helped that a lot too, because that was like, it wasn't like a godsend, but it was a solid enough game that people were like, oh yeah, Digimon. Yeah, I liked Digimon when I was a kid. Okay, sure. So, yeah, I think they've really hit a good point where they are making good stuff that isn't too up its own ass, that isn't too heady, but is trying to explore new territory. And yeah, you're right that they never really did have laurels, but like, even the like. They never even, like, leaned on, or they didn't even lean on what like feeble, like I don't even know what to say of it, but like yeah, they still did smart stuff with the Gen 1 stuff. They didn't just crank out a remake. It was like a full on reboot with a bunch of new stuff. Yeah.
I just think that you think like in general when you are coming from a place where you're not the king, right? It's like we see it in games, right? Like the Xbox trying really hard to be like, look how good we are right now, and trying things, stuff like Game Pass, other stuff, because they're not the winner, so they got to try, right? Whereas you run into the Pokemon thing and you get a brilliant diamond.
Yeah, basically.
But good. I'm going to get back to that eventually. Because I love Gamamon. This little guy. Also, I just like the creepypasta aesthetic in general. I'm a sucker for that.
It is very creepypasta. It's very funny.
Yeah. Speaking of creepy... no, I'm just kidding. LV, how's Mug Show? You were going to talk about it last time, but we got cut off. What... You're saying it's good now when it's actually
no, it's not good.
It's not good.
I'm saying it's good at times.
Okay.
It's good at times. There was an episode that stood out to me that was actually good, and like it actually focused on what the show should be about, which is ceramics. But no, most of the time it's just focusing on, I don't know what it's focusing on. It's focusing on shenanigans. That's what it's focusing on. Yeah, there was 2 episodes that stuck out to me where like they were they were actually like trying to make something. Like one of the girls was explaining like, oh, these very particular ceramic like tools you would only use for ceramics, which was interesting because in the little like live action segment with the voice actresses at the end of every episode are usually paired with it. They were explaining what those said tools already were in like the first season, I think. So I don't know. It was a little weird that they didn't pair those 2 things together, but whatever. But one episode that stood out to me was that that's in the town they're in. They have like the actual town that the series is based in. They have these 2 Kappa statues that kind of like guard this one shrine, and they're, you know, and again, it's a whole thing where they're like, yeah, this is made from like kind of the clayware that, you know, that's, you know, coming from this town, etc. And in the show, they have like these cute little, you know, like versions of that in the show itself, of the Kappa statues, except they look like these round, chubby penguins, which I think is a very good. They're very good. Yes. That's all I'll say. Yeah. The perfect shape. They're just very round. And they appear in the ending credits, and they're like sentient in the ending credits, and they're just walking around chasing as if they're alive. Whereas in the show itself, you know, they're just statues. They're just statues. And they actually explain, and again, like distant from reality, like the statues are actually near the little shack the girls have their ceramics meeting in. When in reality, in the actual town, they're like by a shrine or something, I think, or they're like recreations of it. I'm not sure entirely. I don't recall, but. One of the episodes is explains the backstory of one of the Kappa statues, and actually they were actually made by one of the girls, and it puts you in the perspective of it in a weird way. Like it's kind of like not in a, like a literal like we're seeing what it's seeing, but like it's narrating the episode, and it's like. And it's an interesting like explanation of like, you know, how to process clay. And, you know, how does the end product end up, you know, being the way it is? And it starts off with the girls saying like, oh, we got this batch of clay, and it's, you know, and they even explain it again. And they further explain it in one of the live action segments where there's a certain, you know, source or mine. I think like something about like there's a particular batch of clay that's now super rare because they literally like in one of the mines around a town where it's literally rare because it just literally ran out of clay. There's no more clay being produced of whatever this type is, you know. So it's there's, you know, and so the girls like got like a stock of it, and you understand like, you know, we gotta make something special out of this because we're not gonna see this clay again. It has to be something special. So one of the girls like is like, oh, I got an idea. And, you know, again, it's narrating from the perspective of the clay itself, saying like, oh God, I hope it's like, you know, the mature, sophisticated girl will do it. And it starts grimacing and saying, oh no, it's like the dumbass who's gonna like scold me. I don't want this. Please help. And it's like expressing all those like disdainful thoughts throughout the episode. And it's kind of funny that it's like worried about like what the final state of it would be. And ultimately, yeah, the final result of it is like it becomes like that Penguin Kappa thing. And it's a whole like, and it becomes a whole like dramatic thing where like, oh no, you know, like there are many like false alarms like, oh God, is she gonna break it or did she screw up, etc. And then ultimately at the end of the day, like, yeah, she makes it, and like it becomes like one of those, yeah, it becomes a statue next to the Kappa statue. And really what happens at the end though is that it unfortunately caves in a little bit at the top. Because I think at some point she was air drying it in the sun and then it rained all of a sudden. So that probably like made it a little more brittle. And yeah, like, but it has a happy result where like she realizes, oh no, even though it's broken, like I put a lot of work into it and I can still make it look better. And they just realized, oh, I can make it like a vase. Like I can make it like a planter. So then ultimately that's ultimately like the backstory of like the little two Kappa statues that are seen throughout the series. And it was just a very nice, like, thorough exploration of just, yeah, the sculpting process, it's just, that should be the whole series, yet it's not. Again, most of the series is them not actually dealing with ceramics. It's like, it's them, I don't even remember what the episode after that was. It's like, okay, to recollect like a previous episode, yes, there was a girl from Mexico who for some reason, she's back now. I guess she's a main character now, and they're just bringing her back for some reason. And they're like, yeah, I guess she's not part of the group. And ultimately, they're just like going around the town, like giving her a tour, which is fine. But it's called, you know, make a mug with me. We have yet to make a mug. The live action bits are also getting more unhinged. Again, we're in a pandemic still, and it's just really funny that, you know, they keep trying to act like there isn't one going on, even though like all the people they're meeting are like wearing masks and the actresses are not. Once again, they're like faking like a summer festival for some reason. Like they have all the actresses in the kimonos and they're like literally on the side of the street with these empty stalls that they made the townspeople set up just for this bit. Like, oh, it's like, I think it's Matsuri. I'm not sure what the specific name. I think it's the Matsuri festival. Like, oh, it's the Matsuri festival again this year, but it clearly looks like it rained. It looks cold. Like they're doing, it's absolutely baffling. I mean, ultimately, this town seems to be benefiting from this series in some way, so good for them. But this is certainly not a show to learn ceramics, despite the name. It's a very straight. This is, yeah. They're not. It's a very strange show.
Yeah, I mean, I knew someone, I think I said this months and months ago, the first season, but I knew someone who had read the manga, and they said the manga was a lot better. Yeah, about like...
What? How does that...
I don't know. Because
is it actually more focused?
Yeah, because it's only... Right, you're only seeing like the one side of things, but that it was like a pretty good gag one. I don't know. This is all secondhand conjecture. I trust my friends, that's all. But... they didn't say it was anything amazing, just that it's definitely seemed better than the anime itself.
Right.
But I imagine that might also be because you could consume like all of it really quickly instead of in these 15-minute chunks.
Right. I think that it definitely has this energy of like we're just making up like what should each episode have? Like, oh, I guess they're gonna go on a field trip, but then like they could just stay in the shack and make mugs and that's fine. That's the show. They're not doing that. Yeah. Especially since in the second season, there's like no like stakes anymore. The first season was very much about the main character who yeah, she's an idiot, but she kind of like, but it had a very kind of like solid point towards the end where it's like, yeah, she kind of is like bad at like making ceramics. And she's trying to get out of her shadow of her mom, who is known for like making beautiful work. And then she loses the fucking contest and like screws up. But the takeaway from that is like, is that it's okay. Like, it's okay that, like, you know, she hated, like, doing this stuff. She felt like she was forcing herself to do this stuff because she wasn't good at it. But the takeaway at the end was, like, you know, I don't have to be good to do something I like, you know, and, like, you know, maybe I'll get better with time. It just takes practice. It was a very nice, like, oh, okay, poignant message of, like, yeah, sometimes you just gotta mess up. And things don't have to be perfect for you to like it. It does not have to be, like, you know, you don't have to be good at something to like something. But now there's nothing of that sort now in the second season. So most of the time it's not even really centered on the main character, which is nice. But at the same time, I'm not even getting much from the other characters either. Because again, a lot of them don't really have, a lot of them have very surface level personalities. Again, for a very short series, like, what can you do? But it could be definitely way more focused on the actual title of the show.
If there'll be a season 3.
Oh my God, maybe. I'm at this point, like, I was surprised there was season 2, and now I'm like, I wouldn't be surprised if there's season 3.
This is perpetual machine.
This, like, we gotta give this town money. Like, good for them, but
I mean, is it good for them if they're sending these actresses out into the COVID world unprotected?
I don't know. Like I mentioned, no one's in this town. Like I mentioned, it's just strange. Like, no one's walking to this town but these actresses. And then whenever we see people in the back, like in the town, they're just like scared of the camera, and they're you know, and they censor their faces, thankfully. But it's just like, oh, it's really strange. And yeah, they have, like, again, they, like, similar to Kimono Friends with the zoo, like, they have, like, signs of the anime girls, like, in different parts of the town, like, and they recorded, like, little audio tours of little landmarks. But yeah, I don't know, it doesn't look like anyone's walking through that town. And again, because I feel like it's also just off season, and, like, they're pretending it's summer when it's not summer. It's really something.
You know, speaking of, when you saying that they're pretending that COVID doesn't exist, this is just reminding me how the Aquarium anime takes place in 2022, because they're trying, or 2023
Oh, actually?
now, because they're trying to pretend like it's post-COVID or whatever, and that's not, like...
Really? Was that the framing
Yeah.
of it in the beginning?
Well, yeah, because they
wow.
don't want to even pretend that it's like COVID, it's that the aquarium was closing, even though that would have been effective, I think.
Uh-huh. Yeah, if anything, that would have been, like, a great, like, justification for it.
Yeah, well, instead it just seems like the grandpa's a freak. But no, so the Aquarium anime, it has continued to just be like this misery machine, I think I've sort of said in the past, for the main character girl, the blue hair girl, where, like, her boss is having her, like, present projects and, like, do, like, all this other stuff, even though she's, like, I think she's 19 or 20 or something, but she's, like, extremely young, and she's the youngest member of the team and the newest hire, but he keeps, like, dumping everything on her. They haven't given a reason for this yet. I kept assuming the classic anime standby of, you know, he believes in her is why, but it doesn't seem to be the case. He just seems to be an asshole. But the main thing about this show that's been getting me is I would love it because I think they could affect what they're clearly trying to do is do a, like, metaphorical combination of the ideas of how marine life interact with things and what aquariums mean, all this other stuff, and how that can intersect with human psychology a lot of the time. Like, the most recent episode had, like, look, these little turtles are born and they don't know anything, but then they do their best and they go to the ocean or whatever. It's like, wow, just like a human. And I'm like, that's not really true, but okay.
Yeah, sure.
But it could do this, and it could have an interesting thing to say. I think the main thing is right now they've really set up, like, the girl's miserable, okay? Like, she is having a horrible time. She's in a job. I think most people could relate to this. A job that, like, she just... nothing is, like, working. But the way that they've positioned it is that basically her grandfather and the manager of the aquarium are setting this up as, like, we're just giving her the idea that, you know, she doesn't have to do stuff with aquarium. She can branch things out, like, be a marketing person, which is fucking insane as a branching out type job to give someone. But what I was hoping for was, I was really hoping for them to direct the plot towards something like, hey, the old people believe this is a good thing, but it's actually a bad thing. And that this is how society always works, is we always act like the old people are doing this horrible thing to torture someone, but it's actually good in the end. And that seems to be what it's actually doing. But I was really hoping for a while, it seemed like, oh, wow, they're setting up like, hey, like, the way that people act in capitalist structures in like jobs like this, or like even in like jobs that are like passion projects to an extent, quote unquote, like aquarium keeper, right? Like to be an aquarium keeper, you have to be someone who really is into that sort of thing. And throughout this, I think they've really shown like that a lot of the people who are involved don't actually care, and they just either like got into it just by who they knew, or like they just wanted to be into it for the money, or like the glamour of it, quote unquote. Sorry I say quote unquote so much, but like it feels like there's something effective that could be conveyed here, like this idea of how these jobs are co-opted, how these things that are passionate like actually never actually go to the people who are really passionate about it. And that it ends up everything ends up being mismanaged because of the nature of people being focused on money and marketing and things like that. That could be an interesting thing to explore, and I don't think they're going there, and I'm kind of bummed. I don't understand why so many original anime feel like they just like have to fall back onto the most basic ass tropes and stuff like that, but it feels like it happens all the time. It's a real bummer. But yeah, that's almost over now. So
Oh, you'll be free.
I'll be free. It wasn't like torturous. It was just weird, right? Like it was just like I wanted it to do something interesting, and instead it just sort of ends up being like I think any show that ends with "wow, that old person was right" is a choice in the current era, especially. And that's definitely where it is going. Speaking of old people, John, how about Lupin?
Damn. All right.
I mean, it's old.
It is old, but what is old is oftentimes new again. So I'll be honest, I didn't really care too much for the time travel story, how that wrapped up. It was pretty lame. It was just like, oh, Lupin and Goemon got caught in like a VR recreation actually, and so they were playing along with it to string it along because Lupin also was overloading it and was going to blow everything up. And then they got ripped out of the VR thing at the last second before it blew up, and it was just like, I don't fucking care. It was dumb. I didn't like it. But then they got back to the main plot. The main plot's interesting again. You know, they're back with the current day Sherlock Holmes, and you know the intrigue over why Lupin is trying to, insert himself back into Holmes's life, and especially Lily Watson's life, who, thinks that Lupin killed her dad. And it's all very mysterious and all very exciting, and they're trying to figure out, it's like two different, separate but just as evil, they're crime syndicates going after each other, and Lupin's caught in the middle, and he's trying to help people, but also trying to steal a treasure, because that's Lupin. And hey, guess what? It's really fucking good. It's really fucking good. I still very much love the overarching plot so far. So yeah, even though that one little 2-episode arc wasn't really that strong, I'm still very much enjoying this. And the next episode is going to be a Jigen episode. So I always love Jigen focused episodes. Those are always really fun. Like my favorite episode of Lupin that I've seen so far is still from, I think it was from part 4. The episode where Jigen is like getting checked out at the hospital. I think that's probably still my favorite episode that I've seen so far. Still really, really love it. Will always love Lupin. Even stuff that I'm kind of like on is still pretty good. Like, yeah, again, I didn't really love where that story ended, but I still, the action was still fun. The characters is still fun. It's still good.
All right. Do you think they'll ever do Lupin 7?
What?
Like Lupin Part 7?
I mean, yeah, I bet they'll keep making parts. Like,
Do you think it's like case closed, it'll never die?
oh, totally. I think Lupin's gonna continue until the heat death of the universe.
Okay.
Like Lupin's like.
Oh, yeah,
it's-
I know. It's an
It's just
institution.
basic enough. Yeah, it's just basic enough. But the thing is, the neat thing is that as the times progress, Lupin, by keeping Lupin up with the times, it only keeps it interesting, because then it just adds more characters, it adds more plots, it adds more scenarios. Like, it's like foolproof almost in that, like, if you're gonna be like, well, why doesn't Lupin have this? It's 2021. Why isn't this happening in Lupin? And it's like, okay, sure, we'll do that, and then they do it, and then it's cool. So, I like the fifth part was basically all about how would Lupin function in an era with social media, and I think they pulled it off pretty well. I think that's really neat that they like tackle these criticisms in a fun and like a fun and an interesting way. They aren't just like stuck with the times. They are actively updating the character. That is pretty cool in my book.
Yeah, I'd agree, especially when like it doesn't. Listen, I'm not the most versed in case closed, but this is also my best example of a comparison of long running. But it's just like they don't really update that very much.
Or like your Golgo 13 and all that.
Yeah, oh yeah, better example probably. Yeah, they don't really get with the times, as it were.
But I will say, I think a big reason why Lupin is able to keep up with stuff is because it is not that singular creator. It is like they are very active in like working with different teams and different writers and stuff. Which, yeah, I mean, Golgo 13, like if we're talking about that, like that was the same, like that dude died this year, and like, it's they're still wrapping up the story, but that's like explicitly because he like trained people for this to happen. Like he has like a team to wrap up Golgo 13. But like once Monkey Punch passes, they can keep doing Lupin forever, because they'll just like I don't even think he's been doing Lupin stuff like at all. Like I think he's, if I remember correctly, I think he might be like a professor somewhere or something, but I mean, dude can just like live off the royalties for the rest of his life. Like he's definitely fine, and like his creation is just gonna keep being updated for the new generation, and it's all the better for it.
I just, to correct you, Monkey Punch did pass away a couple years ago.
That's right.
Yeah, he did.
That's right. Yeah, okay, that's right.
No, but it very much proves your point. It pretty much does prove your. And I think with the case of the Lupin characters, they're kind of like blank slates, as you were saying. Like they do evolve with time compared to something like Case Closed, where that Case Closed started off with a story in mind. I think there was an ending in mind, and I don't know what happened there, that it just kept going. That I'm fascinated by, but very much like, Lupin in a way is very much, here's a cast of characters where you can apply them to different cases and what have you. And that's certainly difficult to do if you had already certain things in mind for certain character developments. I don't know how Case Closed is doing it. I don't even know what's going on there anymore.
But yeah, absolutely. That does just kind of back up my claim that, hey, they could just keep doing Lupin stuff forever, and they don't need to be so slavish to the original. It's just a bunch of fun character designs and like character concepts that they can just that you can do whatever you want with them, and there's like so many cool things you can do.
Yeah, cool. Maverick, what the fuck does this mean that you have written down here? Like
very
Comey,
scary.
more like Co-MILF. Hello?
Yeah, hello?
What? Did they put like her mom in?
Oh, yeah, they fucking put her mom in,
Oh,
dude.
okay,
no.
okay, this is fine. Then. Okay, this is fine then. I was scared
Fucking
for
hell
a
yeah,
second.
hell
You were
yeah.
just calling
They
her
put her-
that, and I was like,
Comey's mom has got it going on. She's all that I want,
Okay.
and I waited for so long. Comey, can't you see? It's not the girl for me. I know it might be wrong, but I'm in love with Comey's mom. Hey, yo.
oh wow, I'm looking at her now.
Yes. Sup, baby? Take me out to dinner.
She introduces
Hey, yo.
herself as Forever 17. Wow.
Yup.
No.
Oh, wow.
Yup. So the gaggle of idiots invite themselves over to Comey's house because they realized, hey, we never went to your house. Let's see how that's like. And so they go, and just get to hang out. And at some point, Najmi exits the room because her whole bit is going to be, I'm going to see these two freaks when they're alone in the room. And it turns out they're just perfectly calm. Tadano and Comey are very, very fine individuals when alone in a room, because what's there to happen in the middle of all that? What's going to happen? Nothing. And as I had alluded to before, I forget if this series is immediately just a 4-coma series, but they're doing something very similar to Love is War, Kaguya-sama, where, going through all these gags, they're now starting to establish a bit more of a ongoing focus. And by the end of this episode, we see the actual school year end, and so now we're getting into summer break. And one of the last scenes for this episode was just a very good exchange of Comey just being bored doing her summer work, getting it all taken care of. She wants to call somebody. She wants to hang out with somebody. But who is she going to hang out with? Who's she going to call? Maybe she'll call Tadano, but she's too terrified to do that. Cut to Tadano just bored out of his mind at home and thinking, man, Comey probably finished all of her schoolwork. She's probably trying to think of somebody to call. Maybe she's going to call me, but she'd be too worried about it. I guess I could go and break the ice there. No, I won't do that. I won't do that. It'll be fucked up. And then again, Najimi the God coming in to be a mediator and just being able to go like, hey, we're all going to go to the beach. Let's, or we're all going to go to the pool. Let's have a good time. And match shot of both of them, just small little fist bump. It's very good. We'd mentioned, or I know Rose, you're going to be talking about this a little bit later with the concept of ethical heterosexuality.
Yeah.
But no, I like, as much as I like the idea of two people liking each other when it comes to straight couples, because that never happens really, I also like, a genuine portrayal of friendship as it evolves into something better. And I like that they're definitely setting something up here where, at the very least, like, Tadano and Comey are very eager to hang out with one another, and it's good to see that pop up before trying to establish any other foundation of like, oh, is he gonna ask her out? Like, don't make me care about that yet. Make me care about the fact that they're both gonna get to hang out in the same space with, as I've said often again, just this gaggle of freaks. And also, Komi Shuko, hey, yo.
I'm getting it. Okay, so like I'm on the wiki page, I'm getting it. I'm seeing this. I understand. I get it.
Oh no, she's voiced by Inoue.
Yeah, that's
Kikuko,
why.
Who's known? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, they did this on purpose.
Oh, yeah, of course they did. Are you fucking kidding me? Of course they did.
Oh no.
You gotta get the lady
Yeah.
who voices Lust in Full Metal Alchemist to be a mom,
Right.
and then you're a genius. You're a
There
real,
you go.
you're a real scientist in the lab. Doing
Yeah, for anyone who doesn't know, she has a whole bit where she jokes about how young she sounds and looks, and yeah, she's beautiful.
no,
she's
definitely.
and her own daughter's an actress, but she's like almost 60, and she looks great. She's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
oh wow, okay. And yeah, but she actually does have like a variety of voices where she voices, of course, moms, but then it's become a recurring joke where like you look really young, and she plays into that bit a lot.
Yeah,
it's just
She
knows
she
people are like,
actively uses the Forever 17 line.
yeah,
and
she
yeah.
knows the
Respect.
people are feral, and she plays into it. Absolutely.
Respect.
Nah, but I see it as mom. Yeah.
Yeah.
Finally, like a different haircut too. You know,
Yeah.
a cool short haircut. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm going to steal the segue here to go. Yeah, ethical heterosexuality. So banished from the hero's party, I decided to live a quiet life on the countryside. All right, it's very, whatever show. It's fine. However, the main characters like live together, and they're like like kissing and stuff, and it's normal. And they're just being normal about it, and this is insane to me, as someone who has watched a lot of seasonal anime over the years. Because I've noticed the trend is just, if you're doing heterosexuals in anime, it tends to be the type of thing where the girl has to be like Hinata from Naruto, even if she's angry all the time. She has to act like Hinata, where she's like, oh, gee whiz, I don't know anything. Or they have to, and the guy always has to be like, oh, I don't get it. But the guy here is normal, and the girl here is normal. And they just interact with each other, and they have a nice time. And they just, like, hang out in this town, and they do stuff. And it's refreshing to an extent, I guess, is how I feel about it. I said this before the show, but a friend of mine said, like, the way that you do straight romance in an anime, and like make gay people care about it, is you just make them like each other, because there's just such a prevailing notion, which it comes down to like a lot of this stuff is written by like dudes who have never been in a relationship, right? Like that's a lot of light novels and anime, but not even just that, but like the persona director type, where they're like, I don't believe women and men can be friends type logic. So it's nice to see here, even when it's like they just have a normal relationship where they like each other. And also they're like in their mid-20s, so they're just acting normal. It's nice. It's really nice. And also the fact that that's not the only thing going on in the show. Like they're doing a bunch of funny little stuff. Also, that's not an isekai, I should say, is one of the main things that struck me about it. I don't know where this show is going. I assume it will go into something, but it's nice to see a relationship is not the end goal, but rather just a part of the journey, Which is how I think most series should treat relationships. Yeah, I recommend it if you like that sort of thing, I guess.
Yeah,
Maybe
that sounds
read it.
cool.
Yeah, maybe read it. Also,
Ooh.
is what I would say.
I'll send these light novels to 15-year-old me.
Yeah. Ugh. I've sort of gotten into reading light novels recently. Not to break my perfect exterior, where you never thought that I would read things like that because I'm watching every isekai or anything. But no, light novels. Some of those translations that have been coming out semi-recently from like 17 and stuff, pretty damn good. Pretty impressive stuff, I wanted to say. Really impressed by the work that they're doing over there. Yeah. So LV,
Yeah.
take your pick. What do you want to talk about? You have two here where you
Both a lot is happening between both of them.
Yeah.
I would like to talk about Hike His
Yeah,
Story,
go
which
for
has
it.
ended recently.
Oh, it ended. Oh, right, because it was only like 8, right?
Yeah, it's a mini series. It was I don't know if mini series is the right word, but definitely like it's contained as like it's not something intended to be further. And this was a series that people were building up as the first series being made and directed by Naoko Yamada ever since she has decided to leave Kyoto Animation to now work at Science Saru. And, if you don't know her, she's known for having, directed K-On! Tamako Market and, done other work for K-On! And specifically for doing a silent voice. So, not a lot of people don't know the reason why she chose to leave Kyoto Animation. But nonetheless, she's in Science Saru now. And this is her first series with them. And this is based on... It's based on this grand Japanese epic that basically took place... that kind of narrates this... loose account of what went on during the 12th century in Japan. There was there was a huge war going on. And again, like when it comes to like a lot of these epic stories, right? It's always like very loose in terms of like, okay, what actually happened versus it being flourished with some mythology, some magic, some paranormal stuff in here. And certainly making historical figures more allegorical than literal, etc. And it's one of those things where I think like only until super recently that, actually no, well, I could be wrong on this, but there's like so many it's one of those things where there's so many translated versions of this story because again, it's one of those things where perhaps it was, like the original source of the story was, like not lost throughout history, but it was just scattered and like hard to compile and to determine like, okay, is this like, not to say, I don't think this was a story passed through oral tradition. From my understanding, I think it was passed around through like texts written by monks, etc. It was one of those things. And, over time, the other difficulty being that, it was written in a form of Japanese that's much different from modern Japanese. Right. So that was also the problem. And yeah, so the anime version is based on what, to the best of their ability, what is the actual proper modern Japanese translation of this grand epic. So in the case of the anime, they decided to make a whole new character, I guess, to kind of like, who herself is like a character. But in a way, I guess they did it because it's one of those things where, again, it's an epic. It's going to sprawl through different characters and not really have a centralized perspective. For anyone who has read something like poems or, even if you study things like Greek myth, like, it's just kind of all over the place. There's really kind of no central like protagonist you need to follow. And I felt like they needed to do that because they kind of needed that perspective for the audience, to kind of like follow along. And it follows how, during this period in Japan, there's this like ruling clan that's very kind of, at least the first impression of it is they're very brutish, very, police state like, if anyone spoke against them, that's it for you. You're going to get killed or like disciplined in some way. And this little girl wandering with her father, she at some point sees like this horrible, like inhumane treatment, like these enforcers of this clan, are going around people's houses and like dragging, like really horrible stuff, like things like trying to imprison people, like taking them out of their homes to like get imprisoned or do horrible things to them. And this girl speaks out. And unfortunately for her, like that meant like her father got in trouble. Her father was like her father was like apologizing on behalf, but ultimately they just like killed him on the spot, like right in front of her. And that kind of sets in stone the events that lead to her being adopted by this man and getting intertwined with this like kind of like noble family. And it's very interesting because I think it like opens up like, this, not opens up, but it goes into like, further exploration of the biwa, who were the biwa hoshi, who were these like artisans, these performers that were especially like prevalent and going around at this time period. Were different from geisha, I would say, but I guess comparable in like kind of the things they did.
Mm-hmm.
But they often actually were women who cross-dressed as male monks. So, that's one thing. And it kind of like uses those, it kind of uses that occupation as one of the things, what's the word? It explores that occupation often in this anime, whereas I think that was not something emphasized a lot, again, in the original epic, because, again, we now have this, like, character they made up that we have to follow. And she herself is, like, a child of one of these artisans, and she didn't really know who her mother was. Again, she's, like, orphaned, and now she's being taken into this, like, family where, she starts seeing, like, one of these performers, and, again, it goes on from there. Ultimately, again, at the core of this series, it's really just a drama, really. It's, like, a political drama, so there's a lot of things like, one of the characters, like, is bonding with, again, the main character is called Biwa. She was never given a real name. Again, she's named Biwa after, like, this artisan occupation, this performer occupation. And, again, because her mother was probably one. And through her eyes, we just see, like, the drama of this family unfold where, one of them has to be taken away for, like, some sort of political marriage. And, like, again, just it's really, like, this whole thing of, like, I guess I think it really goes down to the fact that this is, like, a story of, like, I guess childhood innocence being lost. I think that's what it is. It's, like, through the eyes of a child, we're seeing, like, all these different, like, subplots and dramas unfolding. And it's a little hard to go into each specific one because they kind of, like, feed into each other, right? Like, this, like, one character is, again, this one character is, like, forced to leave and become, like, a nun because she's being, like, like, extorted for some reason. Like, there's a lot of these, like, mini plots where a lot of these characters aren't even named. Because, again, like, in the original epic, like, they're more, like, archetypes as opposed to specific characters. It's a beautiful, it's a beautifully animated series. Again, it's very typical of, like, the Science Saru style, where it's very loose. It's not afraid of experimenting and, like, just laying loose with its characters and not keeping them, like, solid in shape. Like, okay, times, like, lines are just gonna go all over the place, but it actually looks cool and looks very impressive, and relevant for, like, what we're seeing on screen. And the music itself in the show is very good. Again, it sticks to, like, it's trying to stick to the period where it's using a lot of traditional music. There's a lot of moments in an episode where it kind of, like, steers away, and we just hear, like, chanting, which I believe is probably, like, literal reading of what the epic, like, what is in the epic itself. And I believe that the chanting is coming from, like, a future Biwa who's, like, kind of narrating her own story in a way. It's very fascinating. I have not fully completed, though the series did have finished recently, but for sure it's definitely something that's beautiful to watch. But as I was going to go into, it does get a little too much. Again, it was difficult for me to go into, like, specific details of, like, certain subplots. Again, because it's, like, adapting a whole epic, which I'm not sure how it's going to round out in the rest of the episodes I need to see of this. Like, there's only so much you can put in here because, again, it keeps jumping around between these different stories and these different characters, but doesn't necessarily, I think, do a good job. I mean, they all round back to this character, but if it weren't for her, like, I'm like, oh, how would this all work out if we didn't add this additional main character just so we can have a connected thread for all of them? Again, like, if you're reading a textbook, you're reading, like, a history account of something. There's no, like, central character you're following. It's just, like, you're looking at it from above, like, at, like, a macro level, right? But nonetheless, it definitely, like, it definitely makes me curious as to, like, what this director might do here on out with this at this new studio. But it's certainly like as good as people have been saying about it. But it's just so far, it's like, oh, I don't know how this is gonna round out. There's just so much to it that can be a little confusing, especially in regards to following some of, like, the plot threads unfolding.
I definitely had wanted to check that one out because for years, honestly, because I had heard things about it. But I heard this adaptation in particular is fairly impressive. So
I think it's been in production for a while.
I think it was delayed because
sure.
of COVID I think it was supposed to come out last year or something. I don't know.
Right. Like, I definitely recall seeing, like, a snippet of it, like, years ago, I think, when it's, like, just a test animation of it, perhaps. It's probably not even something that ended up in the final show, right? No, it's definitely something you can, like, like, you just let it tide in, right?
Yeah.
I might have to rewatch it at some point because, again, it's like it does reach a certain point where it's like, oh, I don't know what's going on. It jumps around a lot, I would say.
Not to derail, go to such a different direction, but it was just reminding me thinking about animation. This is such a tangential thing. Girl from the Other Side trailer looked so good. When you posted that looks so good. I'm so excited for that. That's been something that's been in
good for them. Yeah,
making for a while too. Very cool. Very cool stuff. Okay. Maverick, Toradora, every day in December.
Oh,
that's right. It's gonna happen. This is me just preemptively calling that shot. And if anyone out there in the sphere is interested in also coming along with that journey, because Toradora is 25 episodes, so
that's right.
One episode each day in December is going to land you right at Christmas for that fun little journey of two people that are learning how to be horny for each other.
Finally.
Yeah.
Is that ethical heterosexuality?
Maybe not the most ethical, because it's still, about...
There's a lot of violence, yeah.
There is a lot of violence, yeah, and I think it is certainly...
But, I mean...
It has brought a sin, I think, to modern anime.
Yeah.
It has brought many sins, I think.
You're kind of right, yeah. It's the type of thing
it's very good. Like, I'll say it.
It is good, though, but it has set a precedent, I think, in ways that...
it's the type of thing...
The titles after it did not, get the... Read the room.
It's the type of thing where it is fine, but the things that came in wake of it
the pastiches of it after are not fine.
Yeah. It's an unfortunate butterfly effect.
Honestly.
But all right. Alvy mentioned this, and I definitely want to do it. Watching Katana Gatari once a month next year.
Once a month.
That sounds good as well.
Yeah, and I might have a different... If you recall, I did not finish it.
Right. Yeah, you did not.
I was just like, I could not deal with it. So I wondered, too, if watching it, and reporting back each month, I wonder if watching it in this, might change my perspective on it, because it's spaced out, and that was how you were watching it. Yep.
Yeah. Speaking as someone who has just only recently gotten caught up to the modern quote unquote era of Monogatari, that wordiness being spread out over time definitely does it favors, I think. Being able to just be like, okay, I'm going to watch a 2-episode. I'm going to watch an arc every 4 months or whatever. This is great. And I imagine it would be the same for that. I'm interested to see that as well. I'm all for this type of seasonal nonsense. I'm going to watch X and this. I've always been a big proponent of that. I'm the type of person who watches Nightmare Before Christmas every Halloween or whatever.
It's nice. It's nice to have little traditions, and I definitely would benefit from just having something else to add to my plate.
Yeah. No, it's fun. I definitely need to start formulating more traditions to have fun with, I think. Because I don't have many right now, and I think it'll be fun. Outside of, should I really watch the Gurren Lagann movie anymore? After, 112 times? Probably not. Probably take a break. Put it in the background, but it can be fun. I don't know.
It could be.
All right. Elvie, then you can tell us about Sakugan. I guess that'll be it if you'd like. This is the one where it just keeps adding things, right? This is what
it keeps adding things.
It started out as something, and then
it started off as
it switched.
Yeah. Okay. So this is a show that looks great. I wonder if the title's intentional, which bothers me, but okay. Oh wow, Sakuga. No, but okay. The title is a pun on Sacks and Guns, which I don't like either. I do not like the title of the show, for one. But we're gonna call it Sakugan. I think it's actually based on not a light novel, just a novel, weirdly enough. Like, I think it's based on a short
Always
story
crazy
or
when
something.
that happens.
Yeah, always crazy when an anime is not based on a light novel. It's like, whoa, okay, whoa, acknowledging other media formats exist. Oh, cool. Literally talking about Tale of Haikyuu, which is based on a crazy ass huge poem. And the premise is the premise seems to combine so many things. You were just referencing Gurren Lagann. That's what some drills are happening here. There are drills in the show. There are giant robots and drills in the show. They are underground, kind of, but also sometimes above ground, kind of. It revolves around a father-daughter relationship. It is one of those shows, and how they're basically in this like world where there's like this economy of people who like dig stuff up. It's just a whole like weird ecosystem, like people like who have these giant robots and they're mining for things and what have you. But ultimately at the end of the day, like there seems to be, there seems to be some bigger conspiracy going on where this father and daughter kind of like got a map that they have to go somewhere to that will have like the answers to everything in regards to like their past, etc., and like her mom and all that. Just, that's like kind of the end goal. Like, oh, there's more to this world than there is. And again, the bit is that the girl is like, she's like a little kid. She's a smart ass little kid who's like a prodigy, and she's sad because she's never had a normal childhood, or at least she keeps denying she's sad. She has never had a normal childhood, but everyone around her is like, she's not had a normal childhood. She's sad, and but she doesn't show it. Her father is a dumbass. He's a dumbass, and they're like a straight laced comedy dude. That's what's going on here. And she's like, "Oh, Dad, you suck." Comedy, a gag, physical humor, that's the whole thing. But the show looks great. Yeah, the show looks great. Again, I just wonder if the title was deliberate. It's just like, oh, haha, Sakuga in the title. And opening is great. It's a very fun, flashy, colorful show. I just don't know where this story is going. Tale of Haikyuu, the problem is it's just so big, so I don't know how they're gonna round it off within the limited episodes they got. Otherwise, it's beautiful. I know what the intentions of this is. This one, I don't know what's going on with this. It seems to be based on something, but it has the original anime feeling still, though. So I don't know if it's one of those things where there was a concept of what it was based on, but then they're doing their own thing. It feels that way.
And they lose the plot. Yeah.
They lose the plot. So, it's like, again, they're on this journey to following this map to get to a thing. That's what that is. This is like a treasure hunting One Piece ass thing, except unlike One Piece that keeps going. They had their 1,000th episode recently, by the way. Oh my god.
Well, we're big One Piece supporters over here, as we've said in the past.
You guys got a Netflix adaptation. This is the monkey's paw you have chosen. Yep. This series is going on so long. You now have a Netflix adaptation. Congrats. I'm sorry. But they keep derailing from the fact that they're like going to find something. So like in a recent episode, it just felt like it feels like it's trying to be Cowboy Bebop. That's what I'm trying to get at. Like, it feels like it's very episodic and anthologic in a way where, like, okay, there seems to be some sort of end goal here, but they keep like going into other things. Like, one episode, they weren't doing anything. They were literally just like focused on like the digging stuff. Like, they were like, oh, we're finding things. And in another episode, they're now on the surface and like they meet this sexy lady and there's like a bar fight and like now they're like involving what I don't know. It's just there's a lot going on that's hard to keep track of, that like I keep forgetting about what the main plot is. So again, I don't know. This is a show I still also don't have like a strong opinion of. I don't know if it's done yet. No, it's not actually. I just checked. But I don't know. It just feels weird that like it has, and they're not filler. I shouldn't say that, but it feels like it has like filler episodes.
No, I know what you mean though. Like that always happens with the original animes, where it's just like they randomly
like why is this here? You you can't afford to have this here when you have a limited amount of episodes guaranteed for your series.
And it just feels like they're filling for time, right? Because they don't know where they want to go with the main story every time.
Right. It's weird. It's weird because they keep going up in the surface, and then they keep literally. It's like they keep going up in the surface doing random stuff, and they go back underground to find the thing they're looking for. Like it's really weird and jarring. And again, there doesn't seem to be stakes besides the fact that there's like monstrous robot threats trying to kill. It's whatever. Like for sure, it's like trying to build the world, but I don't know if that's like effective. If it keeps meandering on stuff that doesn't really add to anything at hand.
Right, because you can do a world building filler episode like Cowboy Bebop does, like as an example, like has a lot of those, right? Where it's like, hey, says something about the world or the general plot, in a sense. But I find in recent times, most they don't know what they're doing with it. They can't use them smartly. It really does just feel like a waste.
It's like, that's combining all these shits. It's combining Made in Abyss. It's combining Gurren Lagann. It's combining Decadence, I would say, even.
Okay.
Cowboy Bebop, One Piece. These are all different genres.
No, I know what you mean.
But that's like every episode feels like a different show. Now the sexy lady's with them because she's like, oh, you owe me debt or something. She's like a convict or something. But now there's like 3 of them. It's just very strange. It's trying to be so many things at once.
Well, I hope. Well, I don't even know if I can hope that it gets better at this stage, right? Because it's like, what, there's like, is this a 2-core or is this a single core, right? Probably, I'd assume.
I think it's just a 1-core. I think it's supposed to. I think so.
Then I don't know how it could improve at this stage.
Like, I think it's going to end like at the end of this year. Like, I think that's 1-core.
What are you gonna do? I guess sometimes it's just like that, more often than you'd want.
Ooh, I would even say it kind of has elements of Dungeon Meshi too. Delicious Dungeon, because it's very much the ecosystem of like an honor system, like, oh, don't take too much when you go underground, etc. And like, but no one's really policing that. But there's like a culture where it's just it's try. A lot of people were compared this to Decadence, if anything, which is interesting. I'm surprised, like, it's acknowledged. Like, wow, yeah, that was a good show.
Yeah, you want to talk about an original anime that was okay. There you go. Didn't waste time with filler or anything the entire time as well. They kind of just clipped from each episode to the next. What an insane program that was. That was such a trip every week.
The little guy.
Once you saw that little guy, you knew it was up. You knew what was going on. Maverick, did you ever see this fucking show?
I'm aware of it. I know that this exists. Oh, man, too much. No anime happened in 2020. No, there's no anime happening in 2020. You can't tell me that. Haikyuu happened, and that was it.
Yeah,
Haikyuu ended, and that was it.
It happened, quote unquote.
Oh, Haikyuu. Listen. I'm aware that Haikyuu ended.
You feel it?
I felt it. God, no, that was the summer of Shonen Jump just wrapping shit up.
And like, to what?
I don't know, just to wrap things up neatly in a bow. Meanwhile, My Hero Academia is still barfing its guts out trying to figure out some kind of an ending.
Yeah, really, what the fuck's going on?
I don't know. United States got involved for a little bit, and then they stopped, I guess. These new chapters have been off the shits. One Piece undefeated, though.
They're still going.
They're still going, and it's still pretty sick. Like, it's still pretty dope. And don't even try to talk to me about Dr. Stone. Fuck that shit.
Oh no, I don't
We're
even
gonna
know.
get back to that soon enough.
We probably will.
Yeah, and it's gonna suck. Cause
Yep.
I can't wait to see them try to so for the context of the actual manga itself, where they ended in whatever portion of the fucking anime, they love to bill it as a fucking shonen action series or whatever. It becomes slice of life comedy for like a good chunk of the show.
We felt that way like in half of season 1, where like they wasted so much time with these awful characters.
Well, it just goes in and out of like action.
The little
and
man.
Slice of life.
The fucked up little man.
Nah,
Sorry.
that dude rules. That dude's fine.
No, he's not.
Yeah,
No, he's actually fine. But there's the blonde one. I even forgot his name. They kept him around even though he fucking murdered people.
Oh, that dude's whatever.
Which I don't understand. That series has a strange relationship with the villains turning good, which is not great.
The glass blower?
Like, not in a way that felt good. It felt very like, why, you know?
There's again weird. Don't even get me started with the fucking billionaire that they save.
I forgot who that was.
The fucking pirate captain or whatever. And the whole bit is like, oh man, whenever we invent money, that's going to be so good. And I'm just sitting there like, why?
Oh no, yeah, that was our biggest way. Like they're just reinventing capitalism. I'm like,
literally, it's like, okay, so who? My man who was like, I'm gonna make the strong society. Can I convince him to just like off Senku and the like? Once they start trying to think about making capitalism happen again.
All right.
Stupid.
Their whole thing of like, oh, he's bad, but then, you know, he's kind of right about like not reawakening the worst people. You know, like, you know, he's kind of like, right?
But no, we gotta listen to the centrist.
Oh, absolutely.
The scientific God, he really is kind of just like the amazing atheist, but as an anime character.
You're right.
I wish it wasn't true.
Yeah. Well,
absolutely.
In his little fucking leather booties.
All right, I think that about does it though.
Yeah.
You know, normally we do a patron pick, but we're going to do that next month because, John, if you want to drop what's going on, go for it.
Sure. So, I am Twitter friends with someone who has been in the anime community for a real long time, probably longer than all of us. His name's Brian Hansen. He wrote for Anime News Network for a good while. He did the Answer Man column for a bit. He's not the original, but he was one of the folks that did Answer Man. He's done a lot of other writing all over the place. Now he's just kind of hanging out, it seems like. And he specifically requested for us to watch a movie called Ryojin Z, which is a movie by the same director as Akira. It's about he described it as an old man mecha comedy. So I'm excited to see it. It's on YouTube if you want to watch it there. You know, there's like a subtitled version that's in pretty good quality. I mean, it's, you know, available elsewhere if you so desire. But yeah, we're gonna have a real ass anime journo on the show. It's not going to necessarily be in December, because by the time that rolls around, it'll be like when our break is for, you know, getting ready for Game of the Year and also for the holidays. So we'll probably be recording that like first thing in January. So you got plenty of time to watch it, just the one movie. But yeah, check it out, Ryojin Z. And yeah, we're being legitimized. We got a real anime head on the podcast. No, we're still I'm looking forward to it.
All right, so yeah, you can find that over on YouTube. Easy stuff. We're gonna have to start figuring out Anime of the Year stuff probably pretty soon.
Mm-hmm.
But next
Anime
week
of the
will be
Year,
normal.
easy. Just fucking God, what came out this year? Oh yeah, Odd Taxi, easy.
Shh! Don't spoil it.
The one where it's not about a taxi.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Normal taxi.
Normal taxi.
Yeah, normal taxi.
Taxi on medication.
All right. That about does it then. We're gonna take it easy and embrace winter. But thank you all for joining me and watching. Thank you for watching Kamen Rider build for me. Thank you. I've been charging this up for months. I've been waiting. I think 6 months ago, I just thought, I need to force everyone to watch Kamen Rider build. And
It
now
was fun.
it finally rolled around to my choice. So
Yay!
yeah. Fucking voices. Okay, no, I'm not gonna go on there. Okay, yes. Thanks everyone.
Folks, be the one.
Be the one. I'm just gonna play Be the One twice for this episode, so you can hear that. Yeah, thank you all for joining me, and we'll see you all next time on another episode of Unlimited Railworks. See ya.